What is up, everybody? It is your boy Drift, and I am back with Shinobi. He is back from his vacation. We are back with another episode of the Overnights podcast. I'm gonna go ahead and let him do his intro, and then we'll go ahead and hop into today's topics.
What's up, y'all? Shinobi radixan. I'm finally back doing YouTube, so you can go and check out the channel now. And then sometimes I dabble in music, but for now, just the channel.
Yeah, we both currently uploaded videos, so I'll have both of our videos in the description at the very top, so you guys can see both of our personal videos on each of our channels. It is sick to see him back. I actually started watching the video. The idea of the whole video was sick. I'm like about like halfway through it, I think. I think I don't remember how far I am. It's a pretty long video, but it's a sick video, and the content of it is super
Yeah,
sick. But I really like it. It's coming together well. And let's go ahead and hop into today's topics. We're obviously going to talk about the trip that Julio went on because it is an experience that most people want to experience. And after that, we're going to go ahead and talk about more of our collectible stuff because a part of this trip was him also probably looking at that kind of stuff because that place is like the central of that kind of stuff, anyways. So we're going to go ahead and talk about our personal collections, things we want to collect, and then we're going to talk about his trip. But before we hop into that, I was just mentioning to Shinobi that I had something that happened over the week while he was gone on his trip. It happened like a couple of days after he left, and that is the big news with PlayStation. Like I said, it broke their exclusivity deal with most companies, meaning that he's hearing this for the first time too because I didn't tell him before. But PlayStation will now not be letting you play their other games on other consoles, meaning games like Wolverine and stuff like that that are exclusive to Sony will only be PlayStation games. They will no longer be on PlayStation, and they will no longer be on the Switch or PC or vice versa. Any game that is made by Sony now will be a exclusive Sony product.
that's interesting, but also like I see both sides of it. I see obviously it's a massive L for anybody that doesn't want to buy a $600 console to play a game, especially if it's just one. That's always the worst situation. That's like with me with Bloodborne 2. I forget the name of it, but the one that's just exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2.
Mm.
Um, I'm in that boat, so I feel that. But also like Xbox has had their like exclusive ones for like so long. I'm surprised that they finally did the same thing at Sony, but also like why now? You know?
Yeah, I don't have a specific answer right now. These are the few things I can think of. I think with everything going on Xbox and the AI and the firing of their CEO, and now there's more AI involved, less employees. I think that if you look at Xbox, they're just going like in a downward trajectory, if that makes sense. I mean, they
Yeah.
allowed most of their games to be on PlayStation besides like Halo and Forza. Oh no, Forza's not on there. I think it's Halo and maybe Gear. No, Gears is on PlayStation now too. Actually, I'm not sure. It might be just Halo that's just not on every console. But the problem
Mm.
with Xbox is that a majority of their games are on PlayStation, so now you can play Gears and things on PlayStation. And on top of that, like I said, with all the controversy AI thing, you know how that is with the public. That's a big factor. And secondly, since Game Pass is now a Microsoft product, buying Xbox games on PC is just more relevant. I think more people have PCs now
Yeah.
compared to consoles, and it makes it more accessible. I think the thing with Xbox now is that all their main games are on other consoles. Like, why would I get the games? For one, why would I get the games on Xbox when I can get them on PC on either Xbox Game Pass and or Steam for a cheaper price? So that doesn't really help Xbox. And secondly, I just think that their sales are already lower than PlayStation, so it's hard. And then now with the Steam Box coming out, the Steam Box is obviously the console version of a PC that they're making. I don't know if you've seen that got introduced or whatever announced, but it's some sort of like high tech, better than Xbox, little on the go PC box that can play PC games from Steam and console games or Xbox games on that. So that's like another double
Okay.
L. So I think the biggest reason that I think PlayStation is doing this, in my personal opinion, it's not only that are they scared of the competition because of obviously, you know, what's happening. Not scared in the way that they're gonna get outsold, but scared in the way that they don't want to be left behind like Xbox. And
Right,
secondly,
right.
I think with the crazy market for computer parts right now, like it's kind of impossible to get RAM or like CPUs and things like that. So PlayStation also announced that we're not getting a PS6 no more for a while, like at least another 3 years maybe. Like it was supposed to be initially announced for 2027, and now it's completely chalked. So I'm assuming because it's so hard to make consoles, they want you to have a reason to buy a PS5. That's where your point comes in,
Okay.
where like it sucks because you may want to just play Wolverine, but like they need a way to stay relevant because if Wolverine is on PC and people are just gonna bite the bullet and buy PC or play it on a different console, then if there is no PS6 or there is no next thing to come out, like Sony would essentially like be left behind, and I just don't think they want to do that. Plus,
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
yeah, and plus homeborn games just bring in money. A good example right now is everyone was shitting on the like Switch 2. Everyone was like, "Why would I fucking pay $20 to play the same games?" And then boom, Poketopia is now the biggest played game in the world, and now everyone wants to Switch 2. So I think when you bring a game to your company that attracts people's attention, it's just gonna, make people want to get it anyways. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Insomniac right now has just hit the nail on all things superhero. And since we are still in a heavy superhero world of the MCU and stuff all over TV from Marvel, that game is just probably gonna sell regardless. So people are gonna want to switch to, maybe getting a PlayStation or keeping their PS5 now. It's just kind of crazy that they're cutting off all games. It sucks for someone like me who originally I just recently switched, so like I don't even have my PlayStation really hooked up on my main setup. So it's like, damn,
Yeah.
like now I can't even get Wolverine and play it on my PC.
Yeah, I feel that. That's why I keep all of them. I think the only one that I don't have that I had previously was the PS4. Just because one of my homies was like, "Yo, do you have one that I could get? Because I need one." Well, I sold it to him, but aside from that, I keep like all my stuff just in case.
Yeah, I mean that's smart. That's how I was now. I'm actually glad that I didn't sell my PlayStation. I was thinking about it, but now I'm kind of glad I didn't. Now that they were getting exclusive back, so might have to keep it around just in case. Especially with things like the new Lego game that is currently going to be co-op but couch play. I think playing that is much easier on a console than it would be trying to split screen on a monitor and a PC.
Yeah. Did they say anything about? Because I feel like there were some games that were just gonna be on like the newer version and not like this version or the PS5. Did they say anything about that?
No. The only thing that I'm curious about is they only announced certain games were going to be cut off. Like obviously, like Wolverine now is only going to be a PlayStation game. Like Insomniac Spider-Man is already only
Yeah.
was only previously a PlayStation game, and I know going forward, like the Gears game will be that. I'm just curious about like the obscure titles, like maybe like the new Horizon one, like the Monster Hunter version of it. Is like that only going to be console now? Um, and any other story mode games. I just don't know what they're doing for certain games because there's some like niche games that are like exclusive to Sony studios, but like I don't know how far they're willing to cut out everything or if they have control over those studios. Like a good
Yeah.
example, that my friend I'm gonna mention this to my friend. I told him about it. He's like, it kind of gets weird because like I don't play this game. He plays this game a lot, but our friend Kaida plays the MLB game, and technically the developer for MLB is San Diego Studio Sony. So like, could they monopolize baseball just to PlayStation at this point? Like,
That's kind of insane.
yeah, like you start thinking about the possibilities and how much control Sony has over their studios. So it gets kind of crazy, especially with titles that are very popular right now are growing. Like as far as like Marathon is a good example. It's like finally starting to like step up and grow, but Bungie is now exclusively a Sony company because they bought them. So like, where does the line get drawn of how much Sony is gonna cut off from the rest of the gaming world, in sense, or how much of a leash is Sony gonna have on these studios to allow them to make their own decisions? Is kind of crazy. That's what I kind of
Yeah.
get confused about because I have no idea how it would turn out.
Yeah. Because now I'm trying to think. Because Kingdom Hearts was like, I guess technically a Sony exclusive, even though they like started branching out like with the DSs and stuff. So I
Mm.
wonder how that is gonna affect it. But then again, it's not gonna be until like 10 years until we get the second trailer and then like a new release date, anyways. So
Yeah, I just think it just depends. Like, I think for some developers this works, but for other developers it hurts. Like, I don't think I could see a world where, like, example, like Xbox 33 just won Game of the Year. I just don't think that maybe wins Game of the Year if it's only Sony. Like, I honestly think unless you're
yeah,
like a well-established company, like you're like Insomniac or you're like one of like the OG big franchises like Tomb Raider, like Ratchet and Clank, like any of those who are well established, yeah, maybe they could survive a just Sony release. But like, let's say you're like a brand new developer, or like you're just like a Sony only studio, and you're getting ready to release what you hope to be a big game, and then you realize it's only PlayStation. It's kind of like super hard, and I think that like this has been a problem for Nintendo in the past. Like obviously Nintendo struggles with this all the time. Like if you're not like
Yeah.
Pokemon or Mario, or Zelda, like their obscure titles just struggle to sell on the console or be in relevancy because like those titles just don't sell because people don't play Nintendos for those games. So I'm
Right.
super I'm super curious how this is gonna turn out. We'll have to see. I'm assuming that some games that were already ported to PC or announced to be on PC are gonna remain like they're gonna come out still. I think games like early development like Wolverine probably won't hit PC maybe, but for the most part, I think some of them who already announced for PC will stay PC, and then going forward, like the next project will only be Sony.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll see. But other than that, let's go ahead and
Dang.
hop into your trip. We didn't announce where you're going, so you can go ahead and say where you're going, and then we can go ahead and like talk about your trip, and I'll throw up some like pictures or anything that you took if you want on the podcast. We'll do all that in the editing process. But I'll go ahead and let you give a little brief discussion about where you went and what it was like to actually go there and experience it.
Yeah, yeah. I went to Japan twice. That which is absolutely insane. Honestly, both trips were not planned. The reason why I ended up going was because initially there was a lottery set up for Hatsune Miku, so I entered that, and then like a month later, Baby Metal was like, "Yo, we're taking internationals for a concert," and I was like, "Well, it's not really gonna hurt if I just sign up, right? So let me sign up." And I had gotten the results for the Baby Metal one. I think, oh, what month was it? I want to say like early November, mid November. And then literally a week later, I got the results from the Mika one, and I had won both. For those that don't know, for international, you can't buy tickets for concerts in Japan. You have to enter a lottery. I'm pretty sure all of them are like that. Um, Obviously, if you're a resident, you can buy some tickets. I recently found out that most of them are lottery based, but for some tickets, you can't just buy them. But yeah, it's really just based on your luck if you're gonna be able to get in. And I got in for both. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have gone to like one of them just because of money wise, and then I'll talk about that a little bit, just so you guys are kind of familiar with the whole process.
Yeah.
But I was like, because the first one was Baby Metal, right? Absolutely love them. That one, Miggy was able to go to, so I was like, well, why not, right? And then the second one, the Miku concert was for Project Voltage. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hatsune Miku or just like that project in general, but they had made songs for every Pokemon type essentially, and then like some extra side songs that were Pokemon related. But Project Voltage itself was the songs for each type, and they made it a concert. So I was like, I cannot like miss this. This is like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. Not just like the opportunity, but like the concert itself. So I was like, I gotta go. This gotta happen. So those were the main reasons, and that's why they were unexpected. Because I was like, nah, I'm not really planning to go to Japan. We've always talked about going to Japan, like as a trip with everybody, but
Yeah.
I mean, the more people, like, the more of a hassle it gets, like getting everybody's schedules like in line and stuff. And I will talk about that too, because that's what happened with the second trip. But the first trip that I went with Miggy, we went to Akihabara, Shibuya, Ikebukuro, and that was pretty much it. Like for the main cities.
Yeah.
Trying to think of where else. I think we went to Shinjuku also. But the first trip, I was like, Miggy, you for sure are gonna be here on this trip, but we don't know when you're gonna be able to come back. At that time, he didn't know if he was gonna be able to come back to the Mika one, so I was like, let's just do whatever it is that you want to do, and then if we got time to do some shit that I want to do, then we'll do that. And those are the places that he wanted to go to, so we went. And then I'll send pictures like as we uh, talk about it. But the process from the beginning, just like getting a hotel and all that, we went through Expedia, not a sponsor. It was just like the first thing that came up. I recommend this if you are only going to like one main city. So for us, it was Tokyo. If you're going to multiple cities, I don't think you can book multiple hotels for different days. So that's probably something like you gotta find somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or if like Expedia or any kind of like travel agency like that does that, I would like look further into that. I didn't see anything like that, but then again, we didn't have to like go anywhere outside of Tokyo, so we're like, whatever, we'll just stay here. Um, Surprisingly cheap. I use that word like real like loosely because it is still like a bag to
Yeah.
go. It was like keeping financials a little bit of a secret. It was definitely over a band, and it was close to two bands the second trip. But the second trip we had booked only, I want to say like a month and a half in advance. So if you book earlier, it's probably going to be better for you. Also, take into consideration the season, we went close to Sakura season for the area that we were in. It was just Tokyo. It wasn't blooming yet, so I think it was gonna be a little bit more expensive if we had like stayed a little bit longer, or if we had left a little bit later. So also consider the different timings and like the festivals and stuff, because I'm pretty sure like Christmas, New Year's, Sakura season, like those big ones, prices are gonna be higher
Double.
most
Yeah.
likely. Yeah, because it's like the stuff that everybody wants to see, and it attracts everybody. Um, but the first trip we had stayed in Ginza. I highly recommend it, even though there's nothing really in Ginza, unless you got like a bag, because it's all like the Louis stores, Chanel, Bulgari, like all like the luxury brand shit. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Like, definitely stay in Ginza because you're gonna be around that. But I think Ginza is a good like focal point because it connects you to everywhere. And the trains that we got on were not that full. I think it was only full one time, and it was only because we were traveling during rush hour, which was people like leaving work. I think it was like 5:30 or 6, somewhere around there. So that's another like thing you should consider is like your travel times and where you're traveling, because them trains do be getting packed. It's not like you see the video of people getting pushed in and like that only happens every night. Nope, it's every single day. So if you claustrophobic, your feet are gonna hurt because you're gonna be walking a lot. But yeah, the train system is beautiful. I don't think I've ever been anywhere where I like miss the public transportation once I leave. That train system is ridiculous. And then the second time we stayed in Chiyoda City. I don't recommend staying here if you are planning to travel a lot because it's a business district. So you have all the salarymen coming in and out like all the time. The trains are pretty much
Full.
like full capacity
Yeah.
almost all the time. But it is super quiet. So I mean, everywhere is super quiet. When I say super quiet, in this case, it's like there's not a lot of foreigners. It's just people like going to and from work. So if you kind of like want to seclude yourself from all of that, you would want to stay here or a place similar like that. So that's the flight there, and then the hotels, the stuff that we did. So the the first trip, we just went around and sight saw. We got all like the anime, the weeaboo shit. and I really enjoyed the first trip, um, because it was just two people, and me and Miggy both had the same interests, so it was easy to be like, "Yo, do you want to go here? Yeah, let's go," because we both were gonna enjoy that time.
Yeah.
The second trip, I took two of my kids and my mom. Disclosure: I don't have kids. They're just my cousins. It's just one, easier to say kids, and two, I was there when they were born and everything. So you know, what I mean, like taking care of them while they grow up and all that. But anyways, took two of my kids and my mom's. One of my kids and my mom's were just like all shopping, like that. That's all they wanted to do, and like I get it. It's the land of the drip. You know what I mean? So
That's true.
there's gonna be some kind of drip shopping, but they wanted to do it every single day, and that started to become a problem. Eventually, we ended up splitting because they started to get comfortable just navigating the trains by themselves. But in the beginning, it was definitely a struggle. So, what I would say if you're planning to go, and then this is just like anywhere in general, with multiple people, make sure y'all have pretty similar interests. If not, be prepared to split up. Because if not, then you're not going to enjoy your time and they're not going to enjoy their time either. Because y'all are going to be fighting over, like, yo, we should go here. Nah, we should go here. That kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, it's hard, bigger groups, but it's also a lot more fun when there's more people because more shit can go down and stuff. Um, But yeah, the first trip we just visited like a bunch of shrines and temples. There was one, I'll get the name of it in just a second, but there was one where it's like their deity, I think. I don't know. The animal that they picked for that particular shrine was a cat, and like story behind it was like the samurai or this like warrior was wandering during a thunderstorm, and then the cat led him to that area, and now like that cat like brings you good luck. But there's a whole bunch of like cat statues around, and then I'll send you pics too while I'm talking about it, just so you can see also.
Okay.
Um, there's a bunch of cat statues like around, and you buy one of them at like the little shop, and then you make a wish, and then once it comes true, you bring it back. So it's really cool to see like everybody's statues because you're like, oh shit, like somebody's like wish came true or like their goal came true kind of thing. So that was pretty cool. Um, and then we did Shibuya Sky or Shibuya Sky Tree, and then Tokyo Sky Tree. Those were cool. I don't recommend Shibuya Sky Tree. I recommend Tokyo Sky Tree. One, because it's a lot taller, so you can see more of it. But also, there's just like more to do. Just because it's I think it was like 350 floors that you go up. It's like
That's
insanely
damn.
huge, and then yeah, and then you could go higher than that too. Um, it's definitely one where you have to really think about the time because if you do like the sunset kind of thing or like the golden hour, be prepared for a huge crowd. If you're not like really into that and you're like I just want to see like the city skyline, definitely go at night. It's going to be a lot less crowded cuz I feel like majority of people are going to want to go during golden hour just to take like pics of themselves rather than like the city, and it's just going to have the city in the background kind of thing instead of like their main focus.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something to consider. But and at the time, it was a collab with some anime. I don't know the name of it, but there was a cafe in there, and it's like themed. So I'm assuming that cafe would be themed for like anything that they have going on at that time. So definitely worth checking out. I'll send you pictures too of the the sky tree. Um, definitely worth checking out because that's another thing too. There's pop-ups, there's collabs all the time happening all around Japan. So if you see one, and you're like, I don't know if we should stop by, definitely stop by because odds are it's not going to be there by the time you get back. There's some pop ups that we went to that are like, they're not there forever. They just don't know when they're going to leave. Like one of them was the Good Smile Racing because they collabed with Miku. And I was like, I gotta get something in here. I'm not super into whips and stuff, but or racing, but I need something here. And it was really cool because they had like the whole like history of it, and then they had one of the hoods too from the 2024 one because every year they change up the design.
Yeah.
And then I sent you pics of those too.
Let's see. I'm gonna put these all at the in the podcast either at the end or during for everyone to see the pictures.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that we ended up doing. I'm just kind of like picking out like the main points just to like not be here for like 3 hours talking about stuff.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, Pokemon centers. Um, if you collect the pins, good luck. Because I wanted to go to them for the pins specifically because every Pokemon Center has a different mascot, essentially. They all have the Pikachu, obviously, but some have like Miraidon, or not some, but one of them has Miraidon, another one has Rayquaza, another one has like Ampharos, and the pins are of like those Pokemon,
Hmm.
but they're like always sold out. I got lucky and I got one for the Pokemon Center DX, which is it's like right between Ginza and Tokyo Skytree. Um, I got lucky and I got that one, but when I went to go check the other ones, the second trip, they were all sold out.
Damn.
So yeah, is what it is. Um, but if you're also there for like Japan exclusive stuff, definitely check them out because they're not just themed different with like the different mascots. Some of them only have some items. Um, like Tokyo Bay, obviously it's like near the bay, so it's gonna be like more water themed, and then you have like more like nautical kind of stuff. Um, Skytree, I'm pretty sure, is the one with Rayquaza, and then there's like a Mega Rayquaza in there. So you have like the Mega stuff in there. I'm trying to figure out or trying to remember like all the other cool ones. Those are like the two cooler ones, just because they're so like unique. And then the Rayquaza being the one at the Skytree is like alluding to like where you find them in the game. So I thought that was pretty sick. Um,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And then I think the only other big thing that we did on the first day was Team Labs. For those that don't know Team Labs, or like if you haven't seen clips of it, there's a couple different ones, but the one that we went to was Borderless, I think it's called. Team Labs Borderless, which is all like it's kind of just like projections. I'll send um, videos, but it's a bunch of rooms and you go into them and it's like forever changing, so it's always going to be like something different in that room, or you're going to see a different like point in time within that room, which is pretty cool. It's really trippy in some sections because there's like glass rooms, so the lights obviously are refracting and it just looks like endless. It's so sick. I don't know if you could put up videos in the
I might be able to. Yeah.
edit. Okay,
I'll have to
okay.
see.
So I'll send you those just so uh, people can see some of the stuff that I'm talking about because it's pretty crazy. I would highly recommend it. There is another one closer to it. I think Team Lab Planets. We didn't go to that one, but Team Lab Borderless, highly recommend.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay. I sent those over. The second trip, it was just pretty much shopping. So I don't have much to say about it. We did go to Enoshima, which is like a little island kind of thing. Definitely worth the day trip there. I mean, there's a bunch of little shops before going into Enoshima, but Enoshima itself is like gorgeous. It's probably yeah, I would say it's the best like temple slash shrine place that I've been to so far. It's it's crazy because the history of it and just the location, it definitely seems like it's in its own separate world. I mean, if you go to like anywhere, like going from Akihabara to Shibuya to Ginza, they all seem like different places just because of like all the stuff that's there. But Enoshima just it's a different feel, and I don't know. I like seeing the water. I don't like going in the water because I don't trust that shit. But being able to like see it and just outwards, it's so sick. We went at a bad time though because it was foggy and you're supposed to see Mount Fuji while you're in Enoshima, and that didn't happen because there was a bunch of fog. But still pretty cool. The last thing I would say, do not go to Tokyo Disney Sea. I don't know about Disneyland. That might be a different experience. But Disney Sea, just absolutely not worth it. The reason I say that is because the park opens at 9
Okay.
and then it closes at 9, right? So you got 12 hours. It's different if you've gone to the one in LA because I'm pretty sure that one goes until midnight, if not like rolls over into the next day. Um,
Yeah.
Out of those 12 hours, we went on 3 rides because the lines dead
Or
ass
ridiculous. Yeah.
for the good ones were like 3 hours minimum. I like I it's just it's not worth it to me because also the fast passes you can't get them in advance. You have to be scanned into the park and then you could get them there. They're not free. You got to pay for every single fast pass, and it's just I don't think it's worth it. If you got kids, it might be worth it because like the smaller rides definitely don't have lines that long. Like there's some rides that are just like 30-40 minutes, which is I think
Yeah.
like a normal kind of wait time, right? Um, but yeah, if you just going like you and the homies, I don't recommend it. You can skip it.
Yeah. I didn't even know that there was more than one Disney thing. I thought there was just one there. So that's crazy.
Yeah, we went to Disney Sea because like it's different, right?
Hmm.
We don't have that in LA or like anywhere else. Um, and I don't know if this is the same thing for Disneyland over there, but Disney Sea, it's not like owned by Disney. It's something else, but they've got like that partnership where they can obviously use the Disney
Disney
characters,
stuff.
and that's why
Yeah.
they have and I think that's also why the fast pass system is different. I remember watching a video on it like a long ass time ago. It might be like a defunct land kind of video. Um, but that's why some things are different. Like some processes are different from there to like the, you know, Disneyland that everybody knows.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. I would think that they would have different things. I know, like I've seen videos on the actual like Disney in Paris. I know they have stuff that we don't have. Like I know that they have the Monsters ride or Monsters Inc. ride already, and I think they have another ride. I know that Disneyland in California is getting a Monsters Inc. ride, but not for a few years now. They're like adapting a bigger version of the one from there. I'm pretty sure is what we're getting.
Okay,
I think, but yeah, I remember seeing some stuff about that at the Disney Expo thing. But yeah,
interesting.
that would be cool. That'd be something to do. I think Disney would always be a fun idea to do, especially like when you go there. Um, I think everything you
Yeah,
talked
I don't know
about,
about Disneyland because we just went to Disney Sea because we are like I said I don't want to be doing 2 days of just like
shopping
amusement
and
parks.
amusement park, yeah,
Well, not just I mean, yeah, shopping too, but that didn't happen. That shit happened like every day. But like amusement parks and like not being able to see like part of the culture and stuff. Because that's why I like going. Is like, yeah, I do like the weeaboo stuff, but that's like a day or two kind of thing
Yeah,
for me at least. For some people, they can stay in Aki the entire trip and like have the best time of their life. But for me, I like going out and like seeing the temples and all that all that stuff.
yeah. I would be a little bit of both. I think I draw interest from both. I think the shopping stuff would be cool for like all the collectibles, and I also think like the scenery of like a lot of like the green parks and the trees and just the beautiful culture. I mean, everything about that
Yeah.
place just seems better. I mean, a lot of people that I've seen talk about going to that place or even like streamers or YouTubers that talk about going there. It's just like even just walking up and down the street is just so much cleaner than here that it's kind of like it just feels like a better environment, and they're way more respectable about like taking care of things. The streets are kind of like cleaner and stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy to see the difference in culture.
No, yeah, for sure. Speaking of the streets, I did see an otter. This is random. This is just random shit that happens in Japan. There's just people just I don't know if they were trying to get donos or something, but there was an otter there. That was pretty sick. And I met Bruno Mars. I sent you the picture of Bruno, just so you know what I'm talking about. But there, I okay, because
That's
I took
crazy.
my kids right. Yeah. So I took my kid. Oh wait, I met Tyler too. On the first trip, I'll send you the pic for that one too. That one was crazy because I did not expect that one. But oh, and I met Otani too. If you do not like the Dodgers or LA, do not go to Japan. This man is everywhere. He's advertising everything. This guy
It's for the
can
people,
sell
dude.
you yeah, this guy can sell you tea, pasta, cookingware, whoever would be able to give him money, he's on that. He is everywhere. Um, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I took my kids to the second trip. One of them, she just got into high school. Um, so she's still like pure and innocent. So we went
Yeah.
into Ami Ami. For those that don't know, it's I think Japan's like biggest seller for figures for like international stuff. They
Okay.
have like two stores in Aki. So we went in and we're looking at the figures. The first floor is like cool, whatever. It's got like the blind boxes and stuff. Second floor is just uh like round one kind of figures, like your lower end kind of figures.
Hmm.
She was cool there. Went to the second floor. It's like Q Poskets and the Ninos. We went to the third floor, and it started having figures with like the swimsuits and like
Ah, the waifu
the
ones.
schoolgirl outfits. Yeah, the waifus, but not like the 18 plus figures yet. And she was like a little weirded out. Then we went to the fourth floor, and then there was some lolly figures up there, and she's like, what am I watching, or what am I seeing here?" Because there was this dude taking pics of like the underwear and shit, and she's like, "I need to get out of here." I was like, "Hey, welcome to Japan, because this is a thing."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so if you're not into that stuff, don't go into Aki. And when I mean that kind of stuff, obviously like the lolly shit. But if you're not into like the otaku kind of thing, where you start getting into like the the adult manga and like the adult figures, just don't go to the top floors or the basement level for every single shop, pretty much.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. I feel like I'd be lost looking at all the collectibles there. For one, while I'm there, I don't even know how I would be able to bring all the collectibles back I would want to buy back home.
Okay, so what I did was I had my backpack as like my personal item, and then I have a suitcase
Yeah.
for my carry-on that I just put my clothes in, and then I throw a duffel bag in there. And then the duffel bag, that's what I fill up. If you're gonna buy like the really, really big figures, like the 1/4 scale or like the 1/3 ones, you might just have to ship it because it's gonna take up, even if you take like a big ass duffel bag or a big ass suitcase, it's gonna take up like a third or a fourth of it.
Other
So it's
bag,
better
yeah.
to just ship it. It's gonna be cheaper anyways overall. Cause one of my kids he bought I forget who it was, but it was a big ass figure. It was like 1/4 scale figure. He's like, I found it here for $100, and if I buy it over there, it's 400. So even with the shipping considered, that's
Still the same, yeah.
more than half off. So
Hmm. I mean, yeah, but even if he ends up having to pay the same as he would pay here, but you consider it being like the statue and the shipping, it's not a bad deal though. I mean, you're paying 400 for
yeah,
two things instead of 400 for just the statue.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how it'd be. The collectibles there would have to kind of be hard to bring back. I just know that there's a lot of stuff there, and it's kind of crazy because like speaking of you know like the blind boxes and stuff, I've we recently went to a part market that opened up here because they've been opening up more of them here now in Arizona, and the pot markets. I can just imagine over there, or like the figures over there, like the actual expensive blind boxes, because here like they do like those knockoff blind boxes that are kind of like cheap, kind of. But then Pop Mart does like the actual nice ones with the actual nice figures in them.
Yeah.
So yeah, we recently went and we all like I ended up buying a couple and I'm like, dude, now I can see why these are addicting. And I ended up getting a couple of like the Akatsuki ones, and then I got like a Stitch one. And then
Okay.
you open these ones and the quality of them are like, dude, these are like mini like actual figures. So I can imagine like over there, the quality of them is probably so much better, and it's probably way easier to spend money than it is trying to save money over there. So I can imagine just fucking looking at all the collectibles there and not knowing what to buy.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you got a budget, stick to that shit because I went over on the first trip and I went over on the second.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
definitely keep your budget. But no, yeah, the quality too. Like even because Otto, an artist that I listen to, she collabed with Round One for a figure, and it was just like a Japan exclusive. They eventually brought it over here, but I mean, it was just whatever was left over from over there. I found one and I copped it. The quality is not what you would think. It's like way nicer than a regular Round One figure, even though it is Round One.
Yeah, everything is just better there. I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, like even like Pokemon cards, like even Japanese Pokemon cards, they're printed with better quality. The textures are better. Like it's just a better quality stuff there. Like all around. Like it's so much easier. Like I said, like even just the pop mark stuff, which is stuff from like straight from Japan. Like I opened up like the Stitch blind box, and like all the figures are like suede. Like it feels like he has like actual fur.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
buy like a random one, like a Hot Topic, that's like a keychain one, that's just like completely plastic. The arms don't move, nothing moves. Like these ones are like fully suede, fully detailed. Same thing with like the Akatsuki pops that I opened. Like I opened those, they have like a stand and like an actual like statue in the background for the characters that make it feel like almost like a miniature like bitty pop kind of detail, like almost like a
Yeah.
Funko but out of the box. It's so much crazy how much better the quality is for things like that.
No, yeah. Speaking of quality, because I'm looking through the pictures, like sending you some to
Yeah.
put up. Look at this PC, dog. This shit is insane. Like, who would who would run that? Like, who would even think of like making a PC like that?
What? It's just the shape of a shark, dude.
Yeah, that shit is sick. There were some Jordans too, like a PC shaped into some Jordans. It was crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, when I go to edit this, we'll probably have to put most of the pictures. I'll put like I might just make a small edit at the end of the video with some music for all these pictures. We'll just have to do it like that or
Yeah,
something
and then
because there's a
I'll
lot.
send him like the details of like where it was and like what trip it was, just so y'all are like in the loop. And like if something catches your interest, y'all know where to go.
Yeah, yeah, this is crazy. That shark is insane.
Yeah, that I saw that and I was like, what the hell is that? And I walked up and they're like, oh, PC. I was like, this is stupid. I mean, it looks sick as shit, but like that shit is probably not gonna run even Minecraft. I don't think.
I don't know. It might. I'm just
Barely
curious.
the alpha.
I'm just curious where the power button is.
That's what I'm saying.
That's insane, dude. It's an actual shark. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, I think like I said, like you going there and experiencing that, like I can see where you're coming from, especially about like the little nitpicking thing about like what you like and what you don't like. Like group, like traveling in a group, like when you're talking about,
Yeah,
would be like it's fun, but you gotta have similar interests. I agree with that. And then like the wanting to do different things is so crazy. Like I don't know, like it's so hard because like you said, like I feel like for most people that's like a once in a lifetime trip. So you kind of want to try to like
yeah,
do some things because some people don't get to experience that again. So it's like you got to really make sure you plan out what you want to do, and the group has to be like willing to do a lot of things. Um, yeah, that's super insane. Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
That's why the second time I was like cool with like doing what they wanted because I was like, I've been here. I do plan on coming back. I don't know when, but I do plan on coming back. Miggy is thinking about going next March for HoloFest. I don't
okay,
want to go to HoloFest, but I'll take a reason to go back
to
for
go back,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a bucket list trip for me too. I think I would want to go there. That's something that I would want to do. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, like I said, most people get to go once, so getting to go multiple times, you might as well take advantage of it if you can go, and it's something that you
exactly.
can do. I feel like instead of doing the collectibles, I think we could circle back on that and still talk about them a little bit because like we could show like talk about like stuff that you were interested in collecting while we were going. But
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like we should probably use actually the end of the podcast to answer some questions that people might have, since most of the podcast has been covered by this, and maybe we'll just circle back and do a bigger episode on the collection stuff later, just because we're already deep in and the conversation carried like pretty long about this. So I feel like maybe I'll ask some questions about like things I'm pretty sure people will be thinking about, like um, a good one would be like how are you like dealt with like the language barrier? Like was it like were you nervous about it when you first went, or like how did you and Miggy like kind of realize like was it hard? Is what I'm trying to ask. Like was the language barrier like hard to learn or communicate with people?
Miggy was definitely scared. I'm not. I'm never scared. You just honestly sumimasen and arigato gozaimasu, and that is pretty much it. Like, if you just like want to get by like that, it's 100% possible. Plus, now everybody just whips out the Google Translate, anyways, if they can't fully say something.
Yeah.
And they're cool with it because they do the same thing. Like, I want to go get some shoes, and I didn't know like how to like ask if they were in stock, and the guy just whipped out the Google Translate and was like, "Yo, I'll be here in a minute to get you them." Um, so that's like not super hard. Definitely though, look up some videos on the trains and the subways just so you're familiar, because we did get a little lost the first time. Not so much lost, but just confused.
Yeah.
Like a quick rundown. It's all color coded, so it's like really easy to tell which train that you need to go to, and then obviously every time it stops, you know that's one stop. So if you have like five stops after that, pretty simple.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what we got confused was there's like train station numbers for like that specific line or like stops. But on top of it, there was like another set of numbers that we didn't know that that was like the time to get to the next stop. So we were confusing like the stop number with like the time it actually got there. Other than that,
Oh,
though,
okay.
yeah. Other than that, though, it's really like simple. Plus, there's a train that goes one way and the train that goes another way. So if you go the wrong way, just hop on to the other side of the platform and then just go the way that you need to go. The only thing though is like there are some trains like there's express trains and rapid trains. Those don't stop at every stop. So if you do get on one of those by accident, you might have to start navigating a little bit
Harder.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's probably gonna get you in a stop that's you can't just hop onto the platform on the other side and then go back. But language wise, yeah, it's pretty easy. And then you start picking up like stuff that they ask you just normally, like when shopping, the first thing that they ask you is, do you want a bag? So you could just say daijoubu desu, which means don't worry about it. And then after that, if you buy like something that's microwavable, then that's the next thing that they're gonna ask you is, do you need this heated up? And then you can say hi if you for yes, like if you do need it, and then again, daijoubu desu if you don't.
Okay.
and that's pretty much it. And then when asking to pay, majority of places just take cards, so you could just say card, or the way they say it is cado, and then like you're good. There's really not any situation where you have to have like a full on
Conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's like for the concert, like we didn't know like what entrance to get into. They'll just either point you in the right direction, or they'll go ahead and get somebody to like translate it if they can't translate it themselves, like if they don't have their phone on them. So honestly, nothing to worry about as far as like the language barrier goes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to make friends, then yeah, definitely you're gonna have to learn the language, because I mean nobody's gonna want to talk to you through the translating app the entire time. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Okay, I feel like yeah, like I said, that's more of like some of the questions I would ask. I'm trying to think of other ones maybe. I mean, you already explained like the how to get the hotel and stuff or whatever, where the traveling company to go through. I feel like that's probably like the biggest concerns. Um, yeah. Other than that, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, like I said, it's cool that you guys got to experience the trip. I think going back twice, like I said, with your family and once with your friends, it also gives you like a different perspective. Like you're always like a not a different person, but like being with family and then being with friends gives you a different like path of what you're doing, I guess, or like the just the time, you know. I don't know how to explain it like in
no,
the right
yeah,
way,
for
but like
sure.
you're a certain person with your friends, and you're a certain person with your family, so being able to experience both trips and different points of views like that is a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
Um,
because Mickey's a freak and he likes the top floors and the bottom floors.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
we went to the so we went to those um with him. I can't take my kids to that kind of shit. So yeah, it's definitely a different like experience for sure on both sides. But Mickey was also a bitch and he didn't want to get anything. He chickened out as soon as he saw a pair of titties. So
dude, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like I said, I don't know, man. It is so hard. Like, there's some stuff that like I would want to look at, like there, like the Pokemon cards or like Funko Pops, because I know they have stuff like that's only there maybe, but it's so crazy to like, like I said, I wouldn't even know where to spend my money. I'd probably be going crazy.
yeah, honestly, like the best thing that I could recommend, like if you see something and you see like multiple of it, another place is probably gonna have it. So then at that point, just like start price checking, see where you could get the best price.
The best
Obviously,
deal. Yeah.
yeah. If you just see just one, you're it's probably best to just cop it then and there. For example, the auto figure, there was only one that we found in a book off. It was a book off bazaar by Tokyo Bay. Um, and I pointed it out to my kid, and I was like, "Yo, this is the last one. Like, we both want it, but like, you got it. You know what I mean? I can try and hunt it down next time I'm here, or like later. But like for sure, like get it." He ended up skipping out on it, and we did not find it anywhere else. So it's definitely to consider. If it's just like a one or a quantity of one that they have, it's better to just get it then and there. I
Yeah.
mean, the worst case scenario, you end up like overpaying like $5-10, but it's not gonna be like, oh shit, I overpaid this for like $100. And this is talking about like smaller things like figures and stuff. I don't know about like clothes because I don't really like do shopping like that for clothes, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm assuming clothes would be easier than collectibles.
yeah, I mean, if you're doing vintage shopping, probably a little bit different. But if you're just going to like any mainstream, like if you're trying to buy a pair of Chucks or some Onitsuka Tigers, then yeah, those are anywhere. So
Yeah. All right, I think we'll go ahead and end it here. The podcast has been going a little bit long, and I want to give us time to let him relax from his trip. He just recently got back in town, so we'll be back next time. I know we did say we were going to talk about collectibles, but like this episode was, I think, more important about the trip. We did cover the collectibles a little bit, so I think we maybe we'll set that for a future episode. But yeah, other than that, it has been your boy Drift and Shinobi. We are going to do our outros. I'm going to go ahead and end the pod. We'll be back next week with a new episode. We may have a guest on next week. If not, it'll be another scheduled idea that we have, and maybe we can talk more about like the collectible things in the beginning of that episode, just to give you guys that, or we'll save that for another episode. We'll see how it goes. I really do hope you guys enjoy the pod. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about his trip. I figured this was a good idea to talk about on the pod because it's not like a normal vacation. A lot of people want to go here. A lot of people that we hang out with are all into that kind of stuff, and it's like kind of like a wide taste of a lot of different cultures when it comes to like collectibles and gaming. I mean, Tokyo and Japan, all that place is just the central point of a lot of those things. So it
Yeah.
really resonates with the podcast. So yeah, I'm gonna let him do his outro. I'll do my outro. Both of our latest videos will be in the description below, and I do hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, not much for me because it's only one one video up. It is a long one though, so I mean, if you like longer videos, even if it's just to have in the background, highly recommend it. It's Liza P. The concept, because we didn't really like touch on it, but the concept was like, what if Gordon Ramsay played Liza P? So if things like that catch your interest, Shinobi Radixan. That's the only thing I got so far. But more to come for sure.
Yep, stay tuned. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. For me, I uploaded a Deadlock highlight video. I have been streaming Deadlock. My Twitch will also be in the link in the description below. I do hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, we'll be back in the next one. It has been the Overnight Podcast. Peace.